ILIA TOPURIA is a fighter that has it all: combat skills, great determination, charisma and confidence to set new limits. El Matador not only dominates the octagon with out-of-this-world skills. At his young age, he shows that his maturity is up to the challenges he faces. And that is why he has become an inspiration to millions in the martial arts world, fighters who doubted the skills he claimed to possess. But one after another, they've had to swallow all his words. This is a young man who trains like crazy. Stay tuned to this video to see the trouble his opponents got into when facing him. It is thanks to his enormous commitment that he has established himself as one of the most remarkable figures in UFC fights. With only 4 years of having started in this category, he manages to be the first man to knock out the living legend Max Holloway, a much more experienced guy who had been among the best for a long time. It was a nightmare for many, but a sweet dream for TOPURIA. Ilian El Matador TOPURIA was born on January 21, 1997, in Germany. Life in his early years was not easy. His family decided to move to Spain in search of better opportunities when Ilia was very young. He was faced with a new language and a different culture. But this was the perfect ground to prove that your roots, or where you are born, does not determine who you are or who you can become, but how big your ambition is to succeed. In 2015, Ilia made his professional MMA debut at the age of 18 years old. At his young age, he managed to win his first fight, this one by submission. After that, fight after fight, he started to build a perfect record, which made him famous to keep climbing up the ladder. His fight with Stephen Goncalves was a delight for the fans. This one took place on November 15, 2019, and was the fight that got him the contract he was waiting for. After only 5 years of turning pro, Ilia gets the call to the UFC, an achievement he dreamed of and for which he left every drop of sweat in training. By October 2020, his big chance to sign with the UFC had arrived. This is the most prestigious league in mixed martial arts. TOPURIA was aware that he was entering a more exclusive competition, where only the most outstanding fighters are called. Undoubtedly, for anyone to debut at this level of competition is intimidating, but it is where the character of the true warriors shines through. It is no secret that his first fight was not the most exciting. Although he managed to beat Morocco's Youssef Zalal by unanimous decision, Ilia knew that if he wanted his name to cause a stir among fans, he needed to be more explosive. So for his second fight, he had to prove if he wanted to be among the greats, or if he was just going to be another fighter. This fight was with Damon Jackson, who received no mercy whatsoever from the Georgian, putting him to sleep with 2 minutes left in the first round, making him look like a low-class fighter who had nothing to offer against Ilia's skills.
And I'm young. I have a lot of things for improve, and I'm the next champion. And that was what I was saying since long time ago.
El Matador is more than a complete fighter. He is a specialist. Whether on the ground with impeccable technique, or on his feet with explosive punches, he always finds a way to impose himself. After the previous fight, the Georgian had 2 consecutive victories by KO. His opponents were Ryan Hall, who was knocked out with only 20 seconds left in the first round, and Jai Herbert, the latter being a pain in the arse as he landed a perfect kick to the face of TOPURIA and managed to knock him down. But thanks to his skills and all the hard training, Ilian recovered and survived the remaining 4 minutes to finish the first round. Everything was at stake, and Ilian was the favourite by the public to win the fight, so he was not going to finish the fight without showing what he was made of. For the second round, TOPURIA manages to settle the score and adjust his strategy, managing to connect more punches to his rival. No doubt he looked a little more confident and increased the pressure. About a minute into the second round, TOPURIA catches Herbert with a terrifying right hand, making him fall like a jelly and send him to the dark earth. A great victory for El Matador.
Jai Herbert is a nasty stand-up fighter, and he caught TOPURIA with the perfect head kick. And TOPURIA, was in real trouble. He got dropped, and he scrambled, got a hold of him. Next round sent him into the dark lands.
His rivals were already beginning to realise that facing him was not just about fighting. It was about being willing to go all or nothing in the octagon to prove who had the biggest heart. With each victory, Ilian TOPURIA was getting closer to the title, but this was also the goal of great fighters who crossed his path. Now it was the turn of Bryce Mitchell, who surely did not want to repeat what happened inside the ring. Seconds after the fight started, we could already see how he was staggering due to the strong combinations received. He could never keep control of the fight, and finally falls under a perfect triangle choke, being forced to surrender. The next on the list was Josh Emmett, who was defeated by unanimous decision. By this time, El Matador extended his record to 14 wins and 0 losses. 6 of these consecutive victories were in the UFC. ILIA was confident to face someone who had already been champion, claiming that no one could match his skills in the cage. Of course, we are talking about the Australian Alexander Volkanovski, who had already defended his title 5 times. This helps us to imagine how tough the fight was supposed to be. Prior to the fight, both fighters were having fun at the press conference. Alexander decided to arrive dressed as an old man, since ILIA had told him that he was too old to hold the title.
Ah, man, just having a bit of fun with it, you know what I mean? So, you got to do it, you know?
Hey, you see how he came dressed? You already know what's going to happen. You just came ready for the retirement. Look how you look as an old man.
Get a good spanking, that's what's going to happen, hey?
Most fans thought he was simply an arrogant fighter who needed a lesson in humility, and it was clear that Alexander was the favourite to come out on top. But of course, once the fight started, TOPURIA decided to shut his mouth and talk with his fists. After all the exchange of combinations, El Matador gives the fans an incredible show, turning the lights out on the Australian with a crushing right hand in the second round, which knocks him out and sends a champion to the land of oblivion. He finally got his hands on a belt.
Yeah, he caught me. That's that. You know, I felt good in there. I felt like I seen everything early. You know what I mean? But he ended up catching me. You know, I was pretty comfortable in the first round, and then we started being like, oh, we'll start to do more. I was just about to do more, and he caught me. So it's just the game.
Hello. Am I interrupting you? I'm taking advantage of your attention to invite you to be part of the growth of this channel. KindAmbitious is a channel designed to exploit the potential within you. If you like the content, please do not hesitate to leave us your like. Do not miss the opportunity to belong to an ambitious channel. Ilie Topuria owned the entire featherweight division and believes that no one is capable of revoking him, stating that the current opponent sucks and that more fighters were needed in the division that could stand up to him.
I mean, when you look at the division, who makes sense to you in your mind? Who stands out?
Now, nobody. The division really sucks. We need a new challengers, you know. We need a couple of more fights in the division. So we'll see what's going to happen in the future, and hopefully we're going to have some clear challenger. But right now, there is nobody.
The fight between Ilie Topuria and Max Holloway promised to be the biggest and fiercest in his entire career. Many thought this would be a challenge to be admired. Holloway was not only a former champion, he was a legend. Up to that point, no one had managed to knock him out, as this was something that seemed almost impossible. But Ilie didn't just win, he made history. He managed to impose his style throughout the fight, and in the second round he connected him with a perfect hook that left Holloway on the ground. The stadium went wild. Not just because of the win, but because Ilie had accomplished something no one else had done. He had redefined what was possible. No one could believe it. After the victory, in the post-fight interview, Ilie was clear. He said he would do it, and here's the proof. It wasn't arrogance, it was the words of someone who backs up his voice with work. It only ratifies his success. It was a statement to everyone who ever doubted him. So don't hesitate to declare the things you want to achieve. You see, they are 100% achievable if you back them up. Not just by working at them, but by working so hard. Outside the octagon, Ilie Topuria is more than a fighter. He is a role model. His charisma and pride, as well as his way of speaking, have made him a hero to thousands of people. He represents something bigger than himself, the message that no matter where you come from, you can go as far as you want to go. Despite all his success, Ilie has not forgotten his humble beginnings when he was just a dreamy kid in Spain. He constantly talks about the importance of hard work and discipline, inspiring young people around the world to pursue their dreams. This shows that greatness is within everyone's reach, but you only achieve it if you are willing to fight for it. Now I ask you, what can you do with that same mindset? If Ilie Topuria can take on the biggest challenges and win, so can you. So no matter how difficult the road may seem, you just need to be kind of ambitious and fight for what you really, really want. Thanks for staying until the end of this video. If you liked it, do not forget to hit the like button. This will help with the growth of this new channel. And of course, be part of this ambitious community. Please do not forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.